Hello again. It's John Williams here from MIT. As you know, we've been working on cybersecurity for a while now, and we were looking at what are called social attacks. How do cyber crooks get you to click on their websites, and why do they want you to click on their websites? So, for example, recently I was looking at stories about the tragic attack in Colorado related to Dark Knight Rises. So typically I might be doing looking at the news, and I'd find that Dark Knight Rises, and I'd find myself clicking on various websites related to that. And so I just clicked on a website, and I don't know where I am here on blogsindiewire.com. So as you see, very quickly you're taken to websites which you don't know whether they're trustworthy or not. So let me just kill that. So let's take a look now at why it might be dangerous clicking on one of these websites. So let's suppose while you're logged into your bank, you're actually browsing these other websites. Let me show you why that's potentially dangerous. So here I've got a simulated bank site. So I've set up a web server here representing the bank, and we can log in and we can transfer money, and as you see now I've got $3,000. I'm going to transfer back. Let me just show you what happens when I'm actually moving that money around. I'm going to go to the development tools, and this is Chrome development tools, and I'm going to watch the network, and I'm just going to run this again. Okay, so there. So what's actually happening? Well, one of the things I want you to note is that the cookie been transferred, and also there's a load of data here, but here the data, account name John, account value 2000, submit, transfer. So if I'm a crook, I can see that if I can transfer your cookie and also just some simple information here, your account name and an account value, I might be able to steal money from you. Let's take a look in a little bit more detail at how you interact with your bank. So, for example, when you first log into your bank, you type the bank URL into your browser, and your browser does an HTTP GET on the URL, and the bank receives this request, and it usually returns to you some HTML, which is a splash screen, usually a login screen. It needs to validate who you are. So you type in your username, your account name, and your password, and that's posted back to the bank. So an HTTP post, your username and password are passed back. The bank then compares your password with what it has in its database. It may do a hash on it, of course, and compare with a hash, but it then verifies that you are who you say you are. And now it sends back the next screen to you. At the same time, it places a cookie on your machine. In this case, I've placed John999. Now the reason it places a cookie is that now when you interact with the bank and, for example, transfer money, just like we did, so here I'm assuming that John is transferring $39. What happens is this message is sent back to your bank, an HTTP post. These parameters, your account name, the amount of money that you want to transfer, and an action is sent to your bank, but also the cookie is passed back. And that's how the bank knows that this is legitimate, because it gave you the cookie, and now it can see that you're passing the cookie back, and it validated you before, so it knows that you're John, and that this is a valid transaction. Now, the thing to notice is that every time your browser sends a message to the bank, the cookie that the bank placed is returned in the header. So just like we saw here, remember when we were looking at this, that there's the cookie. It's always placed in the header whenever you're hitting that bank. Now, so this is the message. If I can get this message to be sent to the bank, then it'll do whatever the message says. So suppose I'm an attacker. Suppose I can get you to send this message. So what I need when I say you, I want your browser to send this message to your bank. So if somehow I do that, then your cookie will be passed to the bank and it'll say, put this money in the attacker's account. Transfer this to the attacker's account. How could a crook get you to have your browser execute that message? Well, all they need to do is to get you to click on a web page. If their web page contains this, so the URL of your bank, account name attacker, account value, what happens is it's your browser now that gets this URL, and inside the URL is a request for your browser to go out to get this. Supposedly it's an image, but actually it's hitting your bank, and because it's hitting your bank, your cookie will be attached, and so the bank will execute this. Let's see this in action. So here we are. I know that I've got some. So let's suppose this is a trusted site, this image source here. You look at it and you say, yes, this is an interesting image, let me go get it. So we click on this. And yep, it's an interesting image, okay, there it is. It's Batman. Let's have a look at the source code. I'm going to have to get up here to see that. View page source. So this is what it did. Image source, this. Let me click just to take a look at the bank account now. Boom. The attacker has stolen $777. I've only got 1,223 left. Remember, I started with, I'm going back to the old page there, 0, 2000. Now there's this much. So this is quite dangerous. So what kind of images are you likely to click on? If I'm a crook, if I'm a cyber criminal, I may want to put up a website, for example, about the latest cricket scores, and if I can get you to click on one of my, say, images or my web page, then I may be able to get you to execute the script that I'm including. So I'd be interested in what kind of images you click on. Are they sporting images, girls, boys, cartoon characters, pets? But the crooks can use this to get you to execute arbitrary script that they give to you. So if you're logged into your bank account, don't visit any other websites. I should add that banks now can protect against this simple kind of attack, but I'd still beware of interacting with any other websites while you're logged onto your bank, because potentially the cookies that your bank placed on your browser can be leveraged. Okay, so as I say, I'd be interested in what kind of images induce you to click on them. Okay, bye for now.